Adom Otchere are disgracing who live on television. Now, me be on your wire. In fact, Adom Otchere indirectly are exposing the NPP in opposition today. So, near see Fifi Kwetey m0ck post to be on social media, just a normal post. I will be at me posting on Facebook no. Now, Adom Otchere akwatam sa post no person di konkonsa de jandam e kan sem twisting sem e de no political comedy ni spice no, and then he ended praising the government. At the end of the day no, Adom Otchere sani commentary o meki on TV concerning Fifi Kwetey post no, thinking say or bash Fifi Kwetey no. At the end of the day no, he ended up praising the government. And you see, Adiana Adom Otchere himself we broadcast no. Now why you confused? But be answer children sembia for this same issue. Me pese ye tie how Adom Otchere as a confusing who as angina so expose MPP on no one show. Thinking said he was bashing Fifi Kwetey, not knowing said indirectly. Not or exposing him Crawford.
We woke up on Monday morning, and this was the post of the General Secretary of the NDC with quite an impressive photograph of him. This is what the General Secretary of the NDC said. Now, this is the General Secretary of the party whose government is doing excellent. This is a NDC party whose government is doing quite well. They have inflation at single digits. Not just in fact, they have inflation below 5%, below 4%, actually, I should be saying. They have inflation below 4%. They have the currency at fantastic areas. They have a reserve that is covering 6 weeks of import cover. That should be a fantastic economy. The General Secretary of a party waking up on a Monday morning in March should be extremely pleased with that. But look at what he posted on Monday morning. He says, if today feels heavy, remember that setbacks are not the end of the road. There are moments that prepare us for a stronger comeback. Let's all have a great week. What is the General Secretary of the NDC saying? Who is doing setback? This is an economy that is doing so well. This is an economy that is posting 3% of inflation. Is the economy that has seen the biggest recovery of the city in the last maybe 40 years. The city is recovering in 2025, 42% recovery against the dollar in the single 12-month calendar. That's the economy that we are witnessing. That's the economy that the General Secretary of the party is talking about. What does he mean? Why should today feel heavy? No one is dead. Why should today feel heavy? And these are the things that make you wonder, what is the difference and the distance between propaganda and the actual work? Those who do the propaganda and those who can do the work. Is it that the people who do the propaganda, they can't do the work? Because they are posting figures. And the General Secretary says, if today feels heavy, remember that setbacks are not the end of the road. They are moments that prepare us for a stronger comeback. Where is that? Where are they coming back to? Where were they that they left, that they want to come back to? This is the lamentations of the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress in March. Just 1 year, 2 months after the government. The government comes into power in January. Everything is working. They change everything. They announce Oral. Oral is going to give us 21 billion. They're going to catch all the thieves. They do that. And then the economy starts showing great figures. 10 cities to the dollar. Sustained. People thought that, oh, this one is a 9-day wonder. Sustained. And then everything is happening. And people started complaining underneath. The voices started. The dissenting voices started complaining. There's no jobs. They are not spending. The government is not spending. They can't pay cocoa farmers. The government is not spending. What is the government keeping the money for? The government is not spending. The government is not spending because the government wants an equation. The government is interested in an equation about themselves. They don't spend. They don't spend on Independence Day. But they are spending on President Mahama is going around the country to tour the place on reset agenda. Which one will cost more money? President Mahama is going to tour the country to look at projects. Which projects? NDC has started nothing. Nothing has been started. They started nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Which projects is President Mahama going to inspect? If he's inspecting Accra Kumasi Road, it's ongoing. If he's inspecting motorway, it's ongoing. If he's inspecting the inner roads in the coastal area, Teshinungwalabadi, it's ongoing. It's been ongoing before he became president. But they are going to spend money on President Mahama going around the country to listen to some research. At the same time, Johnson Asiedu-Nketia is on a thank you tour. Can you imagine that, viewers? Is that a serious government? The general secretary, the chairman of the party is on a thank you tour. Then the president of the government is also going on a research tour. What is going on? Civil society, are we asleep? Are we watching? What is happening? Johnson Asiedu-Nketia is on a thank you tour. Nice. President Mahama comes from South Korea. It's been announced today. He's going on a tour. General Secretary says, if today feels heavy, remember that setbacks are not the end of the road. They are moments that prepare us for a stronger comeback. Let's all have a great week. What is going on in the belly of the NDC? We need to know. We demand to know, because that's the party that has formed the government. So we demand to know. We demand to know. Why is Johnson Asiedu-Nketia on a tour and the president is also on a tour? The president will use taxpayers' money. I don't know whether Asiedu-Nketia is using taxpayers' money, but I suspect he may be. But the president is using taxpayers' money for sure. This is the government that says we cannot spend money on Independence Day. We can't. We just want to spend small money because we don't want to overexpend. What was the famous word of Professor Mills? Profligate spending. We don't want to spend in a profligate way. That was the word Professor Mills taught us. He criticized the Kufuor administration for profligate spending. And here we are, the sons of Professor Mills. The president is going on a research tour to look at projects that don't exist. And then the general secretary is on a thank you tour. 1 year after the election was won, 1 year after the president was sworn in fact, 30 months after the president was sworn in, the chairman of the party is going on a thank you tour. He's still on it. He's thank you touring because he's running for president. The chairman of the party, who should be looking at the party and be sure that the party is delivering on their mandate as they are in government, he is running for president. The party chairman of the NDC is running for president. So he's running his presidential campaign. So he's on a thank you tour, wasting everybody's time because he is the custodian. He's the chairman of the party. He can call the party to order. He can call the president to order. That is why the woman in Ablekuma was talking to Johnson Asiedu-Nketia that Ablekuma had here. You have to speak for us because he can speak. Now, when you have your watchdog, a supposed watchdog who is supposed to do it for you, and he is running for president 3 clear years ahead of the next election, then you know that you're going to have a problem with the ruling party because their chairman is running for president 3 years before the presidential election. Their president is sitting in the Jubilee House. Their chairman is running for president. Can you imagine that? And then comes the general secretary. Today, if today feels heavy, remember that the setbacks are not the end of the road. They are moments that prepare us for a stronger comeback. Hallelujah be to the resurrected Lord. This is getting interesting, isn't it? Fifi Kwetey, good night, and hopefully the comeback will be stronger.
So this is Adom Otchere. At this juncture, I think said this guy the content of Metro TV asan. The career asan. The career in journalism, I think say asan. The career na ending. Because in your career pa na endia. Adom Otchere. Obia making a normal post keke, just a post. The post is not even about politics, but he wants to attribute it to what? The party. Say, Fifi Kwetey ain't happy with the president, and Fifi Kwetey is not happy with Asiedu-Nketia. What they were supposed to do, no, they are not doing it. Wow. And some may go to party mo, Adom Otchere party, and some may go to Nyansan Kitwago. As I'm talking to you now, party na Chemomiansa. Baumia camp, Kennedy camp, and a brand camp. Kennedy then Baumia camp say, woman supporting Baumia. Omuguso mo kan wan se mo okukuo mo. Adom Otchere ntimi kan wan se the problem ni na ne se. Adena Fifi Kwetey abetwe sansem na indirectly no or punch it to these people. At the end of the day, no, he ended up by saying the government is doing well. One in Yamiye. A catcher of the Adom Otchere a comedian Amontias. Or a comedian, stand-up comedy. And a original TV so yan. Stand-up comedy. And your comedian na. Me nim journalism or ye. entity near Bobby answered or say, this is what they couldn't do in their first 13 months and causing so much bitterness in them. Paul opened their nyash. Until say, after 13 months in office, no, woman to man yet, woman to man yet. Enti near NDC in 13 months, woman to man yet. Until Paul Adom Otchere was thinking, say, or Bashi Fifi Kwetey, so not MPP for no will be one. They say, system not accept to governance. The system will speak for you, and that is what Paul is doing.